LXD is Canonical's all-in-one container and VM management software. I personally love LXD just because it's so simple to deploy VMs and containers. And I want to start installing it now because it takes a little bit to install. And you install it with sudo snap install LXD. So this is a snap. Once this installs, I'll show you how to launch a container, and then I'll show you how to launch a virtual machine. And it's pretty simple. It's very quick, and it's not very complicated, which is why I love LXD and why I think a lot of people really love LXD. All right, it looks like it's finally installed. That should be the hardest part of this whole process. So now all we have to do is type LXD init, and this will, sudo LXD init. See, this is why I like to do this fresh and install it with you guys, because there are little things like that I wouldn't be able to know if I don't do it with you. So just go through these, fill out the default for all of these. Unless you want to screw around with LXD clustering, then you can select yes for that one. Try LXC list, and we don't have anything to list because we haven't launched a container or a virtual machine. The easiest thing to do, the easiest way to launch something is just to do LXC. So you're going to use LXC commands instead of LXD because it uses LXC to actually launch the containers, which is interesting. So LXC launch, and then what you're going to do is you're going to specify the operating system. It comes with Ubuntu release images, so a bunch of different Ubuntu versions. We are just going to do Ubuntu Noble, which is the latest long-term support release for Ubuntu. And then you'll name it whatever you want to name it. I'm going to name this test container. And we don't have to do anything to specify if it's a container. It's going to automatically make a container. Now, if we wanted to make this a VM, all we'd have to do is do -- VM, and that would create a virtual machine instead of a container. But because I just want to make a container, I'm not going to do -- VM. I'm just going to leave that blank, and we'll just go ahead and make a container. Oh, okay. Maybe I have to do sudo here. There we go. So in this case, I needed to use sudo for some reason. I'm not sure why, actually. Awesome. Now our container has been launched, and we can tell it's been launched by typing in LXC list. Sudo LXC list. And now we see our container down here, test container running. We have an IP address, and it tells you that it is a container. Now, if we want to do a VM, all we have to do is test container 2 -- VM. And let's say you only want to give it 2 CPUs and you only want it to have access to 4 gigabytes of RAM. How do you make sure that your container or virtual machine only has access to those resources and no more? Because, some people only have so much RAM or CPU. Everybody only has so much of those resources on their computer. So let's say you only want it to have 2 CPUs. You'll type in -c limits.cpu equals CPU or CPUs? Limits.cpu. I think it's just CPU equals 2. So no more than 2 CPUs that I can use. And then also we only want it to have 4 gigabytes of RAM to use. So we'll do -c limits.mem equals 4 GB. And that, when we launch it, which it might take a while, but I'm going to go ahead and launch it, it'll only use those resources. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that because it's going to take a second. Now, how do we actually access our container that we just launched? Great, we have a container. How do I actually get in there? It's actually very simple. You just type in sudo, and you use the shell command, LXC shell, and the container name, test container. And look at that, we are now root user for test container. And you can do whatever you want in here, and it won't affect the machine that it is hosted on. It'll be totally separate. So you can screw this up and totally destroy it. Like we'll do rm slash rf. Okay, so it won't let us actually do that. No preserve root. Bam. Oh my gosh, we've just absolutely destroyed our container. Yeah, nothing. Can't even do anything now. So we'll exit, and it looks like this is a VM that I'm using. Oh my gosh, I cannot get this LXC list, and everything's working just fine here. Obviously that container is now basically destroyed, but it's all contained in that container, which is pretty cool. So to finally, if we want to delete, we will do sudo LXC stop test container. I don't think it's gonna let me stop it actually, because we destroyed the whole file system in that container. So let's just try LXC delete test container. Will let me? It's currently running. Yeah, I have to do force because it won't stop running because I destroyed the container, so it's not even functional. So now if we do LXC list, or sorry, sudo LXC list, we don't have anything in there anymore. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope you have fun doing this lab at home. Comment down below what things you would like me to do in the future, tutorials or things related to Linux that I could teach for you guys. Let me know in the comments below, and have a great day.